Our Secure Tracks podcast will typically last between about 30 and 45 minutes and feature one or maybe two rail industry experts per episode from around the industry and around the world. Hear how some of these experts are thinking about the same rail cybersecurity challenges you are. Welcome to the Secure Tracks podcast. I'm your host, Roark Pollock. In this podcast, we host rail industry leaders to talk about operational rail technologies and cybersecurity. In this short episode, I'm going to cover what you can expect from Secure Tracks, who I am, and all you need to know before we get started. Let's start with a little about my background. I've been in cybersecurity for over 15 years, all of it on the vendor side, working directly with industry cybersecurity practitioners and cybersecurity leaders. And it's these cybersecurity experts from the rail industry specifically that will be the stars of our podcast. I'm just here to help our guests show off their expertise. I'm an engineer by trade. Eventually, I moved into product management, working into product development, and now I've completely moved to the dark side. I have a marketing role. So I will be your host of the Secure Tracks podcast, along with, from time to time, special co-hosts that may join me. This podcast is specifically about cybersecurity and managing risk in the operational environments of the rail industry. That includes the systems on the trackside or wayside, whichever you choose to call it, the systems in rolling stock environments, and everything in between. We all know that rail operations is a new area for lots of cybersecurity professionals, and that cybersecurity is a new area for lots of rail operations professionals. We intend to help bridge the conversations between these two respective groups of professionals and experts in this podcast. We also know that you might not get out of the office quite as often as you would like to talk to your counterparts and colleagues around the world or just around the city. So in this podcast, we're bringing these rail industry experts and colleagues to you. Our Secure Tracks podcast will typically last between about 30 and 45 minutes and feature one or maybe two rail industry experts per episode from around the industry and around the world. Hear how some of these experts are thinking about the same rail cybersecurity challenges you are. The Secure Tracks podcast is brought to you by Silas, a company of cybersecurity and rail industry experts dedicated to addressing cybersecurity in operational rail technology environments. And we'll be bringing in speakers from all sides of the rail cybersecurity conversation, starting with CISOs from rail operators, but also including rail integrators, rail industry groups and associations, global security integrators, and cybersecurity vendors. In our first episodes, we'll be hosting a number of rail cybersecurity veterans that have served or are serving as chief information security officers at major rail operators. So make sure to tune in and listen to those early episodes. Our ask of you is, if you find the podcast interesting, is please subscribe, follow us, share it with your colleagues, and help us promote it on LinkedIn. So until next time, thank you for listening to our podcast. We're super happy to meet you. Now, look for those early episodes and keep those tracks secure.